Hi there, I'm Jana Eubank, and I'm here to share with you my first layout created with the Close to My Heart Craft with Heart kit. This is the September kit, and this comes with two-page layouts, and the first one I'm working on is this one with the triangular background. Now those pieces were pre-printed onto the paper, and I just went ahead and machine stitched along those lines just to give it some added texture. And now I'm working with these 4 photos of my daughter and her friends from her church group. They were learning how to dip pretzel rods and marshmallows in chocolate that day, so that was really fun. I decided to place these photos on kind of a V to match the triangular lines that are pointing in towards the center of the layout, and so that is why I have them arranged that way. I grabbed this piece of graph paper from my stash, just a little piece that was in my scraps, and I'm cutting it to kind of create a block of paper to go in between those 2 photos on the top row. And what I plan on doing is using this as to anchor my title. So I adhere it to one side of the layout, and now I'm using my trimmer to just cut off that little piece, which I will flip and just adhere to the other page, matching up the lines so that it appears that the pattern continues across the paper. And of course it didn't fit exactly, so I'm just adjusting the photo there to match. Now this little doily piece, this die cut piece, was one of the pieces that came in the kit. And what I'm doing with this kit is I'm using it as a starting point. I'm actually not following the map that they give you as my guide. I'm just using it as a starting point. So I have that larger doily piece and the smaller doily piece. And then here I am using I just went through my scraps and I found this scrap of SEI paper that was in my stash, and it had these pearlescent gray flowers on it. So I fussy cut those out, and I'm deciding to use those as my embellishment on this page. So this paper, actually, this is an old paper. I don't even know what year this is from, but I just love the way that the pearl kind of picked up on that gray vine paper at the top of the layout and brings that white and that gray feeling down towards the bottom. So I loved that it had a little bit of shimmer and shine to it. I cut out the different sized flowers, and now I'm layering them up to create my own embellishments. I have so many alphabets that I've collected over the years, and alphabets are something that I really never get rid of because letters are letters, right? They don't go out of style. They're just different fonts. And fonts may come in and out of trend, but I don't know, they're letters. They don't really go out of style, so I don't ever really get rid of them. So I grabbed this wood alphabet set by Pink Paisley, and I'm thinking I'm going to use this for my title. But as I start pulling out the letters, I want it to say memory keeping and chocolate dipping because that's what the girls were doing that day. But I'm realizing, you know what, this chocolate word is going to be way too long. So I pull those letters off, and I'm thinking about pulling in some other letters to spell the word chocolate because I really love to do mixed letters in my titles, but it just wasn't jiving. So I saw this set by American Crafts, and but then it just felt too narrow, so I decided not to go with that. So then I came across this acetate alphabet letter that they're actually white, but they have a bit of a gray hue to them, or tint to them, whatever you would say. Colors, I don't know. So they're these gray acetate letters that, well, they look gray on this paper by Heidi Swap. And these were perfect. They were the perfect size, and they fit in there, so I'm just pulling out all the letters I will need and I will get them into place. So we skip ahead, so you don't have to see me adhering all those. And I had a bit of space left to the right of the word dipping, and that's where I decided to fill in with more of those paper flowers, and you can see I'm just playing with them and trying to see how I'm going to do it. Now, before I adhere those flowers, I decided to pull the journaling strips from the sticker sheet that comes with the kit and go ahead and adhere those in that space to the right of the photos so that I could use that for my journaling. And I'm just randomly placing them back and forth so they look like they're bouncing back and forth. That way I don't have to worry about lining them up exactly straight, and then I can also follow the curve of that smaller doily down below. So I got those into place, and then I adhered the flowers, and now I'm just playing with the other flowers and seeing where else I may want them on the page. Right now I have a with the flowers on the bottom of the page, I have a bit of a visual triangle going that follows the angle of that triangular background paper. So that feels really good to me. But I'm loving these flowers, and I just want to make that cluster on the left have a little bit more of an impact, so I put more flowers over on that side. Let's see, what do I do next? Okay, so then I'm pulling out some flat-backed pearl stickers to use for the center of my flowers. I go ahead and get those into place. I always like to add some texture and dimension, and those the flowers will be popped up onto some foam squares, and then the pearls will give them a little bit more dimension as well. So the flowers looked a little bit lonely. There were no leaves in the pattern paper that I could cut out, so I decided to use the photo mats that came with this kit to punch out some little leaf sprigs using my Martha Stewart Crafts punch. And I'm sorry, I don't know what this one is called. I know she doesn't make the punches anymore, but yeah, sorry. I don't know what to tell you to look for if you like it. Hopefully you already own it. Anyway, so the little mats for these photos were kind of a gray canvas texture. So it's hard to see. It just looks like I have white leaves here, but really they have a little bit of a subtle canvas texture to them. And as I add the leaves, it just feels a lot more filled out, and I like the way that it looks. I grabbed that date flag sticker from the sticker sheet that goes with this kit and just put that over there on the left and stamped it with the date. And then I felt like I wanted a bit more layering to this page, so I grabbed this piece of paper from my stash by Fancy Pants. It has a really subtle gray and white striped on it, and I decided to put it across the top. And I liked it, but I wanted to add a bit more of that shimmer that was happening in the flowers below. So I pulled out this pearlescent, or yeah, it's like a pearlescent shimmer paper that's white, but it looks a little gray. And I just used that to mat those strips along the top. I also pulled in some of this glitter washi tape to just add a bit more sparkle and shine here and there. Sorry about my cat Phoebe. She loves to sit on my table and actually like on top of my layouts as I work. And she'd been meowing outside the door forever to come in, and so I let her in, and for a minute she behaves herself and she stays out of the way, so we'll see how long that lasts. But anyway, hi Phoebes. So at the top of my layout is this, or the top of the title block, I had just enough space to add that memory keeping and I used the Simple Stories stickers to do that. I also went ahead and add stitching to those border pieces that I put across the top of the layout just to tie it in with the stitching that I had in the background papers. And I love that little bit of texture that it adds. So unfortunately my page is a little bit out of frame, but I just pulled the word stickers from the sticker sheet that came with the kit and just added a few at the bottom and then a couple up to the upper left corner of the layout. And now I decided at the last second that I wanted to add one last little flower cluster in the top right corner by that photo. And that will do it. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this page come together. Again, this is the Close to My Heart Craft with Heart kit for September. I'll be back soon with my next page. Thanks so much for watching.